All right, it's day 29 of the Unedited Launch. I'm doing an impromptu long form because I haven't done the long form videos in a couple days, and shorts and a hoodie today is the vibes. Okay, so it's day 29 of 31 days of an Unedited Launch. Okay, I'm going to talk about things that have gone well, and then also maybe some areas of I'm trying to overcome, some hiccups, some obstacles. So I had some we'll start with obstacles and end with the pretty cool stuff that's happened. Not the first time, but where somebody's like, yes, I'm going to go through, you have a contract on the table, it's very large, and you're like, yes, I'm so excited, I'm going to reinvest in my business and my life, and then it falls through. That happened this week. It's always like, I'm always looking at it like, could I have done something better? Is it just not meant to be? Am I being protected by God? And that's where I feel like it actually is more that, right? So I'm always grateful for the experience. It always helps my skill set, whether it's a sales call or a follow-up, and just always working on my skills with that. So I would say there's that. There's also, honestly though, outside of that, from the last 29 out of the 31 days, just recapping what it's been like to do this launch, I found it a lot easier than I thought to do these videos, especially it's really forced me, I got together this space here. It's forced me, I ordered my mics. Now they're still not working. I don't know if maybe they're not working. One won't charge, so I'm going to retry it again later today. But it's really forced me to put together things that I wanted to put together. And that's part of what I do like about deadlines and about launches, is it helps you, it forces you into a pressure cooker, so to speak, to be like, okay, I'm going for this. Sales as well. I'm definitely not on track for 7 figures. So as much as I'd like to say I'm going to have this 7-figure miraculous launch by Friday, I don't think that. Am I prepared for it? I am prepared for it. I've got all the banking, I've got the invoicing, I'm working on my onboarding. But so what I'm essentially still going to treat it like is 7 figures. If I did have 500 sales last minute, somebody shared something in a group, some influencer got a hold of this, I'm still going to prepare for that. Because though it may not happen by Friday, it will still happen at some point now in the near future. And having the systems in place is where it's at. I had a professor in college who said that success is when opportunity meets preparation. Meaning preparation meets opportunity. So if it was a math equation, it would be the backwards of it is preparation plus opportunity. Those opportunities where somebody's like, hey, would you be on this TV show? Hey, would you like to be on my podcast? So speaking of opportunity, this was actually really cool, and it's not live yet. So hey, maybe there could be all those sales. I was contacted by Go High Level during this time. If you're not familiar with that company, I do offer 2 weeks free, but it's one of the top out of 2 funnel agent websites in the world, and they wanted to feature me. So they actually first contacted me, and I had to still apply, even though they had contacted me, because you have to give more information about your business. And then they did invite me officially, and then I actually did the interview last week. So that will be live at any time too. So that's the whole thing where it's well, what do you want to talk about? So then all my years of doing webinars, speaking events, going live, that's the preparation, as well as sales PDFs. I was telling my son this week that equation. And so preparing for your good, right? Where essentially you're going to assume that you're going to walk into that good. It's going to happen soon. And having the faith is action, right? It's through your thoughts, it's through your words, it's through your action. And it's saying I know that if I build it, they will come. And though I have seen people go awry with that sometimes in these course creation things, they're not really doing market research. If you've done market research and you know that there's an audience for the thing you're selling, you do have to take these steps and get things in order. So let's see, wins would be the daily shorts is blowing up my YouTube. It's also, I would not say I post all of it on Instagram and Facebook. I post most of the short videos there. It also has blown all that up. I think on Instagram is up 1,200% and Facebook was up like 2,300%, which I'm very consistent on those channels. So the disparity of up 10,000%, 20,000% here on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, makes sense because I wasn't as consistent on YouTube as I was on Facebook and Instagram. So but then I haven't posted as many videos over on Instagram and Facebook as I have here, just at a time. Because again, I'm doing this whole experiment like solopreneur style right now. I don't have a videographer. I don't have any team members currently. I do utilize contractors for some of my web development work for my clients. That's per the basis, but that didn't touch this part of my business right now. So wins are, it is a doable process to do shorts, daily shorts, ongoing, as well as some 1 to 2 times a week, long form, unedited. I think if I was doing more edited videos, like some of the cool stuff that I see other YouTubers doing, I would need more time. I could probably commit to 1 week, but I don't think I even have currently, I don't like editing. And that's part of why I called this an unedited launch. The hardships of this process, I'd say would be just the typical hardships of business. I don't think it had anything to do with the launch, so to speak. It just that when you have a goal, the difference would be pressure. So for me, I like to have a goal. I like to hit goals. Unfortunately, I'd say most of the time I don't hit my goals in the time frame that I thought, but I do usually almost always hit my goals. But it's not always the time, the journey of what it looked like. You know, it's like anytime, let's say you were going on a road trip with your family and you're like, okay, we're gonna go stay here, we're gonna do this thing. I remember we went on a road trip to the UK last summer and we'd mapped the whole thing out because also I had to communicate with my kid's dad about I'm remarried, so they're like, the kid's dad you were with, like, yeah, so we both were married before, and so I have 2 stepchildren and 2 natural born children, and so I have to let, of course, their father know where they're at in England. And so, but a couple of the times, like either the hotel didn't confirm last minute or they overbooked, and there was this one time we were at this overpass in and again, it was so like, it was raining and I was the one driving. I just rented a car that day, and it was like we were figuring out where we were supposed to be driving across, actually like several more hours to get to the other side of the country for that night's stay. And I had called them just to confirm, and they're like, oh, actually, like, yeah, we don't have room for 4, we only have room for 2. I was like, oh, well, that's not gonna work, there's 4 of us. So then what ended up happening was I went on Airbnb and looked up this other place. It looked cute, totally unfamiliar with the town. I mean, I'm not from there, clearly not my country. And it ended up being a little town called Bakewell. Now, the house was so old. It was like 4 little tiny stories. It reminded me of like the old lady in the shoe story, if you've ever heard of that. Right across from a graveyard and a church. But the town was so cute. We spent 3 days there. I think we even extended the stay. And why I share that is, anytime you plan something, and you can be the best planner, I'm a good planner. I make planners. The Freedom Planner, if you're familiar, it's free link, freebiztracker.com is up here pinned in my profile. But so clearly, I like a plan, I like goals, I like to hit the goals. But I will tell you, the other thing I really love is adventure. And it's fun when it doesn't always go according to plan. The unfun part of business is when money doesn't go according to plan. But just sharing this story is just reminding me, like, we've also been trying to buy a house the last few months, and 2 have fallen through. And right now there's this other house on the market that wasn't ready yet, and I'd really like to get it. I don't know, again, if timing is going to be correct. But one thing I've learned is this: it's this or something better. If you want to just say that out loud to yourself right now, it's this or something better. When I was still dating post-divorce, and I'd be like, oh, this guy seems pretty cool. But it was always like, yeah, but I don't know him yet. So if it's not him, it's someone better. And I am so glad. I love my husband so much. I like knew like right away when I saw him on video call, because we met long distance. I met him passing through Dallas. Now I live in Dallas because he's stationed in the Air Force here. So all these times were like, yeah, you're taking the steps. Let's say you're going on dates if you're single and you're not sure. Hold out and trust that, especially if you're a person of faith, that like it really is working out for your good. And when you know that, and whether it's a person in your life, a contract in your life, that like maybe if you'd had the money, you would have spent it on something you weren't supposed to, so the money got held back. You know, money is very energetic. It is energy. It's not really real, right? Like even nowadays, think about it, lots moving digital Bitcoins, and even here in the US, some of our government money, the banks are all changing right now, being funded by, I don't know, digital currency. And so, but truly it's just always energy, you know. It's like, okay, I grew some corn and you have rice. Do we want to trade that? But it's just trading. So when you think about your business, and I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, like just remember that go high value in the marketplace. I'm hosting a free workshop this Thursday. I will put the link in the comments just in case people watch this in the time frame. If you end up watching this is the great part of YouTube, is that it stays here, it stays growing. You can always check my website, tianasmithcoaching.com, for free workshops that I offer, things like that. I am aware, and for fellow business owners, entrepreneurs, understand 99% of people will not buy from you. It's the stats game, and it's not because they don't appreciate you and the value you give. So really, it's the balance of how can I give value to the marketplace and truly change people's lives, and hopefully encourage somebody, inspire them, help them not give up on themselves, on their dreams, because the people who actually accomplish their dreams, the real difference is that they believe that it's possible. And so I want to encourage you that it's possible. You don't have to know how. I was in a training program one day with some millionaire mentors of mine, and they said the how is none of your business. I was so offended by that at first. I was like, but how do I know, and how? But as I released the how, like how is that going to happen, and instead focused on, I'm going to set the goal. I'm going to do the thing, like as a woman of faith, I did feel like God had me do this 31-day launch to set a 7-figure goal. Now, honestly, I've backed it down to a 6-figure goal. But in the near future, do I believe that the work I've done in these 31 days could attract 7 figures worth of income? 100% I do. Is it the timing of the 31st day? I'm like, the 31st day? Maybe not, but the work I've done, absolutely. The skills, the audience, the value, cool things I've learned that I get to share with my clients now. And hey, maybe one of them will get to have a 31-day 7-figure launch. I've helped other clients do that. And learning that, like, just because somebody else did 7 figures in 30 days, one, it doesn't mean that it won't happen for me at some point. 2, everybody's journey is different. Like, I've been working on some things in my marriage and my family, house stuff. Maybe it's not that time for me, but it will be. So I want to encourage you today. I would say, like, one is set goals and set deadlines, because it puts you in these pressure cookers. It puts you in a place that, like, you're going to go forward. So, like, this is my freedom plan. This is the older version. We're getting a newer version done. And this is 90 days. I wasn't planning on talking about it. But the reason that it's important, this is one of my favorite things I've ever made on this page. It's actually gone viral on Pinterest many times over. It's a goal board. And essentially, it's like you want to set 90-day goals, right? Like, what do you want to accomplish by the end of this 90-day planner? So if you haven't set that, and if you are watching this in October when I'm filming it 2024, we have about 90 days-ish. It's a little less. I think it's like 85, 84 at this point, of 2024. And whether you watch this in another time and it's February, 90 days is a really wonderful time to say, you know what, I'm going to set this 90-day goal. What things could happen that could change my life? So I'm at the end of almost a 31-day challenge for myself, and then we're going to set the rest of these yearly goals. And I already set some goals for the year yesterday. And just keep going and write down your goals. It's proven if you write it down pen to paper, there's a Harvard study that the people who wrote it down pen to paper accomplished like 90% more than people who didn't. And this is part of why I believe in planners and to-do lists and journaling. It's taking just a bit of time out of your day. If it's 5, 10, 15 minutes, ideally, honestly, a good 30-minute round where you're really sitting with things, maybe you're reading a bit of a book, you're planning things out. And if you want some help with that, you can get my gift to you. It's at freebiztracker.com, and I actually give a walkthrough of how I plan my day, and I give a whole free PDF, and you get the daily printable. It's my gift. Just want to help you out. And thank you for tuning in. If you've been a part of this Unedited Launch series at all, I appreciate you. And I'll keep you posted on the results. And if you want to sign up for the workshop, if you're watching this, I'll put it on the landing page on my website that this video will go on. Otherwise, you can message, just say workshop. I'm interested. Use words. And you can reach out to me. I'm easy to get a hold of. God bless you. Have a blessed day. And let's go rock this amazing, beautiful day.